The following is the production of WEGL 91.1 FM.
That ball is gone. It's a walk-off home run for Stephen Williams.
WEGL Sports,
The Tigers are headed to the College World Series.
where every
Touchdown Auburn! Zakoby McClain!
game
They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow!
lives. Strap in. It's time for the Extra Point, Auburn's best sports talk radio show, Auburn's only sports talk TV show.
He better count basketball wins.
Your three-time nationally nominated sports show.
Oh, yeah.
And they signed Cody Parkey.
SEC champion, Cody Parkey.
I picked Pitt, and I was right. Your three-time nationally nominated sports show, the guys give you the latest.
Penn State.
By a million.
Thank you.
Even John Gruden cried after he traded Khalil Mack, and now he's dancing in the locker room, saying he wish he had a disco.
Call in at 334-844-9345 to join the debate. My boy got it
I
on
thought
lock.
you were saying 1,800 yards in this game. I was like, Jared.
The X's and O's begin now on Eagle Eye TV and WEGO Radio. The Extra Point, presented by WEGO Sports, where every game lives. And welcome inside the Extra Point here on WEGO 91.1 and Eagle Eye TV. Hello, everybody. It's your gracious, beautiful, handsome, stunning, and dashing host, Jared Dillon, and joining me from wherever they may be is Davis Carroll, Levi Fitzwater, Jacob Hillman, Bay Marks, and Alex Houston. Alex, I'll start with you first just so I can get it out of the way. Alex, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, Jared. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I mean, I just woke up, and usually when I wake up, I still need like 2 hours, so still trying to shake that off. I'm gonna go ahead and just give you my prayers and blessings that the Redskins don't do anything stupid tonight, although I know they will. Yes.
Yep, you know.
Bay Marks, Bay, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm excited we get the draft tonight. Pretty exciting with everything going on. It kind of gives everybody a break and takes their mind off everything, with the world right now. So I'm doing pretty good.
Doing pretty good. Don't think you escaped it yet because the Red Sox are on the docket for today. We're gonna talk about that.
Don't you do that to me.
Yeah,
don't you do that to me.
We're gonna do it. I know what's up. Jacob Hillman, Jacob, how you doing today?
Just hoping the Panthers don't screw up like the whole offseason has been.
Well, I know we've all probably seen the reports that the Panthers are looking to trade back. So, I mean, I know we're thinking about the whole Derek Brown thing, which looked to be solidified for like the last 3 months, but maybe it's somebody else we're looking for. Oh well. Levi.
I don't know what the trade back would be, but
I mean, hey, I don't know. Levi, how you doing today?
Good. Hoping I'm team anti Jordan Love today, so I'm hoping we don't end up with Jordan Love. But that's where we're going.
I mean, who? I mean, I already know the answer. I know it's Taysom Hill, but who is the real backup quarterback for the Saints right now?
Taysom Hill. That's why we have to get somebody because we want to be able to do. Like you want Taysom Hill to be able to do what he's been doing, and if he's the backup, you can't allow him to just play every position. But I'd rather just get, someone like Patrick Queen now and get anybody other than Jordan Love. Maybe get like Easton or Fromm or somebody later on, and not use our first on that.
I can't wait till Love gets drafted by the Saints now. And Davis.
And we're gonna trade up to get him too. Don't you worry. We're gonna trade up and get him.
It's even worse than I thought. And Davis, how you doing today?
I got a lab practical after this, so could be better.
Oh, you'll be all right. I mean, what's worse that can happen? You're gonna fail lab.
But the last lab practical I've had, I did fail it. So,
I mean,
who knows?
Hey, it is what it is at this point.
It is what it is.
Thank you for joining the Extra Point here on WEGL 91.1 and Eagle Eye TV. If you want to join the show, you can by going to our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter live streams, asking a question in there, and we'll answer it live on the show, especially about the draft, as that is tonight at, 8 Central, 7... Wait, no. 8... I almost said that backwards.
8 Eastern,
8
7
Eastern,
Central.
7 Central, sorry.
All you need to know is it's 7 o'clock God's time.
No, get that out of here. We already know Eastern time is the best time, okay? I'm dying on that
Eastern
hill.
time is by far the worst time.
No,
Hey,
it's not.
at least we're not Pacific time.
That
No, Pacific time's better. Eastern time is the absolute worst time of all.
What about
Well,
Virginia
yeah.
Mountain Time?
Virginia Mountain Time?
Well,
Is that a thing?
I've been running
Something,
off.
there's some Mountain Time.
I've been running off.
Not in
of,
Virginia.
How do you know?
As somebody who was born in Virginia, I can assure you that's not a thing. But I've been running off of Indochina time, so it is what it is. at that point.
Wait. Never mind. There's a North Virginia time.
There's
there
a
is.
North Korea time because they're crazy. They made their own time zone. There's that. But yes, the NFL draft is tonight, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. How can you watch that? Is that like a ESPN thing, or is that like a NFL on
ESPN.
YouTube thing?
It's ESPN.
Okay, I didn't.
And they just had to take Todd McShay out of the coverage because he has been diagnosed with the coronavirus.
Yeah, I mean, it don't discriminate. That's for sure. at this
So now
point.
we can just listen to Mel Kiper be wrong for 3 hours.
Is
and only Mel
it 3 hours long?
It honestly,
It's close.
it normally
it's close
is,
to
It
that.
might be 4.
but I feel like with the technical changes, it either can be quicker because there's less ceremony to it, and it's just making the picks, or it can be longer because none of these idiots are going to know how to work anything.
Sure.
Like
Am I
y'all see
crazy?
Andy Reid set up. Andy Reid's not going to know how to work the draft thing. There's no way. He's 100 years old. It's not going to work.
You know that time where the Colts had a monkey draft? I feel it's gonna be kind of like that.
Oh yeah, they did.
Look,
Just
look.
remember,
Is-
don't
am I
forget about that,
crazy,
Jared.
or-
Don't forget about that.
Is Miami the only team that has 2 picks tonight?
They have
The
3.
Raiders.
They have 3. Yeah.
They have 3 tonight? Okay,
Yeah.
so it's the replay of Oakland from last year.
Yeah.
Yes,
they
but
have,
I assume Miami's going to be a little bit smarter.
yeah. They have number 5, 18, and 26. I
Yeah,
think.
they're going to trade the
I
26
can't
one in some retrospect. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they're not going to hold on to that one.
Depending on how the draft goes, they could easily at the end of the first round trade the 26th pick and get 2 second rounders, depending on how the depth of the draft looks at that point. Because I mean, you don't know how it's going to go because some teams need quarterbacks. Some teams, like the Saints, may trade up for a quarterback for some reason, and all of that.
We will.
So.
I mean, okay, let's start throwing out hypotheticals here because this is what we do best. If the Saints do trade up in the range of Justin Herbert, are we in on that?
I'm 100% in on that. I just don't want Jordan Love.
So it's pretty much anybody but Love at that point.
I mean, I'd rather get Tua, which if Tua somehow makes it past the Chargers, which I think there's no way that happens. If he does, watch the Saints go up there and grab him because I feel like there's no way that they're not going to try to pull a trigger on that.
What I can't even remember I don't even remember the draft order past the 5th team, to be quite honest. But
The Panthers are 7.
the Panthers are 7th. I know the Colts don't have a pick because they got DeForest Buckner in a trade. So I have nothing to look forward to tonight anyway.
Yeah, after the Panthers, it's like the Cardinals, Jaguars, Browns, Jets.
The
My
Cowboys
little
are
brother asked me
somewhere.
earlier. He was like, my little brother was like, Bay, if Carolina drafts Derek Brown, how crazy do you think Hillman will be tonight? And I was like, I don't know.
He's my second choice. He's my second choice.
Your
Really?
first being Isaiah Simmons.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
well,
I thought it
yeah.
was Justin
New York,
Herbert, but-
New York's
I
gonna
don't
be
think
done. They
Simmons will
pass
make it.
on Simmons.
I feel like Simmons will be gone by then.
Yeah, me too. But
But if he's there, I 100%
Yeah.
agree.
I don't know. This is definitely gonna be one of the more crazier drafts, especially if a trade happens, because I don't know. I just want to see the whole setup that's about to happen here, and I want to see somebody. I want to see somebody in the internet cut out.
Goodell put his video on Twitter of how he's set up, and it's literally in his basement, and it's just him with 3 other people.
So I know because I think Bay, you brought it up before the show started. Jerry Jones is pretty much locking himself away, and he's going to draft. I don't know. Is it just for this round, or is it for the whole draft? Please tell me it's for
No,
this
according to
round.
Jerry Jones, it might be the whole draft.
I think that was a
Wait,
joke about
What
him
will be the whole draft?
telling the scouting department not to bother him, if that's what we're referring to. I don't think that's
I don't know
serious.
if that's a joke.
I don't think
What
it's
did I
serious.
miss?
Some guy tweeted about Jerry Jones telling his scouting department not to bother him during the draft. I think it's a joke.
Well,
I don't know.
the thing is, you really got to question if Jerry is that self-aware to make a joke about himself. Because
No,
Jerry's
I
also.
don't think. No, I think the guy tweeting it made a joke.
Oh, okay, you're all right.
I was wrong. San Francisco has 2 picks tonight too.
Yeah, one of them is the Colts.
Jags have
13th
to
pick.
as well.
It's the 13th pick, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the Colts' former pick.
Who did they trade that pick for?
The Colts got DeForest Buckner, and I think it may have been straight up just that. The Colts got a first-round pick for DeForest Buckner, and the Colts may have given him like a seventh-round pick or something like that. But it was pretty straightforward.
So I think those are the only two.
I mean, for how the Colts are set up, that
good
seems
Lord.
like a pretty decent trade. I mean, they're obviously not in a win in the future mode. Their quarterback's 100, and there's like 10 kids.
Yeah,
So.
I heard everything you said right there.
Oh, is it broken?
I mean, it's okay. I still love you.
No, you don't.
Yeah, that was a lie.
Yeah, you don't need to lie to him, Jared.
I was about to say,
could
Jared,
not
why would
hold
you
a
do
straight
that?
face. But yeah, NFL draft. I mean, I just want to see how it goes. Hopefully, it's not 3 hours. So I'm not gonna sit there for 3 hours when my team's not drafting.
Oh, I'll sit there for 3 hours all day.
No, don't get me wrong. I love the draft. Okay, I remember my favorite day is the last day. That's my favorite day.
Oh, and it goes absolutely berserk.
Yeah, when like I can throw it up on the TV, it's background noise, and I just see all these picks come through, and you see all the players that you saw during the season that like are kind of big names, but they're later on in the draft. You know what I'm saying? Where okay, let's be honest, you're gonna see you saw usually in history's past a decent number of Auburn players go right. And it's like, oh yeah, it's so great to see him get drafted by this team.
It was like the XFL draft.
Yeah, it's like, and the XFL draft, that was off the wall the way we did it. But just waiting for the first Auburn player to fall, I mean, that was exciting stuff. Now we know the first Auburn player is going, in the top 10, and if he's not, that's criminal. And we know that it looks like 2 Auburn players are going in the first round.
There's a chance.
Maybe.
If the Noah Igbenogany hype train stays alive in the first round, which we know, I think it's more likely for him.
It's more likely for him to go in the first round
than Marlon.
For Marlon.
Yeah.
But if anybody else was to go that high, it would have been Marlon.
I wouldn't be surprised if Marlon ended up with like the Patriots or something. Like I feel like that's just like a need that they have, and it just kind of fits late round if he's there.
Yeah.
So, NFL draft tonight. Looking forward to that. Some other NFL news coming in. I know we talked about McShay missing the draft due to coronavirus. I had something. Oh, there it is. The Patriots signing former Jacksonville Jaguars wide receiver Marquise Lee to a 1-year deal. So there goes that for the Patriots, getting another wide receiver to help out Jarrett Stidham. I guess it's I guess Jarrett Stidham's starting quarterback now. Brian Hoyer. I mean, I don't know at this point.
I think there was Ian Rappaport reported that it's going to be Hoyer instead of Stidham.
At least for right now.
Oh man,
pretty much. I think the pick 6 scared him last year.
Look, I'm pretty sure.
I feel like the Patriots are just mailing it in next year. I feel like they're going to just get as many picks as possible, and then
Trevor Lawrence.
They're gonna go.
Yeah, I think they're gonna go. They're gonna go Warriors of this past year mode. They're just gonna accept their fate, tank, and end up being great the next year, which is what's gonna happen with the Warriors. So
I
I think the Patriots are gonna see that and be like, all right, let's just tank, get a great quarterback, because if they can get Brady in the 6th round, they can get somebody in the 1st round next year, and then. I mean, until
something stupid happens that forces them to vacate their 1st-round pick.
That is a good point.
Hey, I'm just saying, Hollywood's still writing the script right now, and that's how you do it. The fall of the empire. That's the title of this chapter right here, and I love it. Don't get me wrong. When the Patriots don't make the Super Bowl, when the Patriots don't make the playoffs, Jared's gonna be a happy Jared. Don't worry about that. So anything else on the NFL draft that is today? Or
not a lot of people here. I think I missed the memo. I showed up and nobody was here at the draft.
It would have been really great if it was in Las Vegas. I was looking forward to Las Vegas. Yeah.
I was looking forward to the boat. That was the only thing I cared about.
Hey.
The boat thing?
The boat.
Yeah, I'm confused on how that was going to work.
Someone was going to end up in that water.
That's
think
what
it was
I
red.
wanted to see.
I'm pretty sure it was just a red carpet thing. Like they would arrive there. I don't think they were actually taking the boat when they got picked.
But it's still a boat's a boat. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna end up in the water.
Hey, always wear your boots in the mud.
Always wear your boots in the mud. That's
You know what I'm
correct.
Get that out of here. So here's a report that just came through from ESPN. Houston wants to have a first-round pick, and Bill O'Brien's looking to trade up into the first round.
Oh,
God.
my God.
He's about to give up to Deshaun
That's the
Watson.
content.
This
I need.
moron had Hopkins and was like, I could trade for a first-round pick. Trading for a first-round pick would be a good idea. Nope, I want 87-year-old David Johnson with his $30 million contract and a fourth. Why?
Just a reminder,
He's such an idiot.
Just a reminder that after the Arizona Cardinals drafted Kyler Murray last year, they now somehow got DeAndre Hopkins and a top 10 pick?
Yeah, and Murray is pushing for them to get CeeDee Lamb, so Kyler Murray could throw for 6,000 yards next year.
Oh my goodness!
Golly.
The NFL's about to.
Which
Could you imagine how insane Arizona would be next year?
I mean, with Kingsbury's offense, they're going to have him throw it 50 times a game. He's going to have Fitz, Hopkins, and potentially CeeDee Lamb. And he won't have an offensive line, and he'll probably be injured by game 9.
And he'll have the energized tank that has come back to life, known as Kenyon Drake, who I hope he has a good season. Yeah, I hope he has a good season because
I think they still need a lineman.
He was going down.
They didn't block him for anything.
They definitely need a lineman, but they're not going to get it because they're the Cardinals.
Hey, look, they have 7 picks. You take CeeDee Lamb, 6 other picks, lineman. Call it a day. That's all you need at that point.
You do like the Seahawks. You just get 30 of them, and eventually one has to be like average.
One of them eventually ends up being decent.
Defense, who needs that? This is the Arizona Cardinals, a.k.a. Big 12 territory.
Those PPR receivers are going to be insane.
I was about to say, Jared, you were saying that as a joke, but that's probably not the craziest idea and something that they could do because, I mean, Kingsbury doesn't care about defense. He didn't at Texas Tech, which is why he was never above 8-5. And, I mean, if they have Hopkins, Fitz, CeeDee Lamb, Kenyon Drake, and a decent offensive line, they probably won't need a defense because they'll outscore everybody. So, it could happen.
I'm just saying. You know what I say about shootouts. So, you always need a defense behind you.
What do you say about that?
What do you say about
Shooter's going to shoot. That's what he says.
What? You never heard me talk about shootouts?
No, Jared. We've been here for a semester.
Oh. We'll just let that go. Let's move on to the Red Sox because we all knew this was coming.
It was a fun show, guys.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
See you, babe.
So here we go.
He actually left. Because with his internet, he's not gonna be able to get back in.
Alex, you want to talk, brother?
I know I am.
So,
but this is what I've been better recently. Bay's been consistently falling apart.
I mean,
so how many of y'all are Red Sox fans? I feel like I'm missing that memo.
Just Bay.
It was just
Bay.
Don't worry. We stalled until he got back, so here he is. Don't worry. Give it a second. Give it a beat.
Me and Dave's in the market for an MLB team right now. So.
All right.
I think I've decided. I've decided.
Yeah, we haven't started talking.
Who were
about
y'all fans of before?
I wasn't a fan of one.
I was about to say
why.
I wasn't, but I'm I gotta get on the hype because
I think I'm gonna go hometown Braves, and then my second favorite team is the Mariners. Just because.
Once again,
I don't care. I like Ken Griffey Jr. a lot, and I just want to be on the team. So because they can only go up, Jared. They suck right now. They can only go up.
Look,
that is a fair point.
It's okay to like the Mariners. I'm not saying you can't like the Mariners. I'm just saying that Mariner fans don't exist. That's not a thing.
Okay, then I'll be the first one.
It's like the birds. Okay?
Dave's about to start the Mariners fan club.
Yeah. Alex, honestly, I don't care what. I assume you're just gonna be a Braves fan.
And don't assume.
You should.
I don't know
because
you know what assuming does.
Fan?
After
I mean, it'd be easy to become a Nats fan because I follow so many Redskins pages that just post about the Nats. It's an easy avenue. Plus, Washington needs another championship.
So, what's the MLB equivalent of the what's the MLB equivalent of the Redskins so he can be fans of them?
Oh shoot.
Dumpster
Give me a
fire
team that has an awful ownership since the dawn of the 2000s. Who is it? I don't know enough.
Padres?
Yeah, I'd say, the Padres are pretty close.
Oh.
All right, then.
Oh, man.
Do I need to become a Padres fan? Should I put myself through that pain?
You can come join the Royals with me.
Are the Padres, are the Padres
years.
really the worst?
That's fair.
Oh, the Marlins. The Marlins are pretty awful.
Okay, actually, no. But
Marlins.
I feel like the Marlins are like, because the Redskins are bad, but they're not like the worst. The Marlins are the worst by. The Marlins are like
at least,
the Browns.
I would usually say the Marlins, but then again, they won a World Series since the turn of the century, so I really can't.
True. Okay, recently they've been bad. That's fair.
I really can't harp on them too much.
That's fair.
We gotta find a team that just hasn't done anything in the last 30 years.
The Mets. Wait, no, they didn't they?
They were decent. They were decent.
Made the World Series.
Don't forget the Royals Mets World Series that nobody remembers.
I was about to say, I don't even remember that.
I don't remember what year that was.
Levi remembers it.
I remember. Okay, that was the best day of my
Wasn't that the
baseball
year
life.
after Kansas City made it and they lost?
But that was the year we played the Giants. That was, and Madison Bumgarner, I think, came in like the 7th and closed out the game.
Oh, that sounds about right.
I have nightmares about that.
My knowledge of the MLB reached its peak when I got like an Xbox 360 with MLB 2K10, and like the Cardinals and the Rangers were the only two good teams in the whole game. Those were live times. Now
was that the one with Longoria on the front? Because that was like peak 2K baseball. That was like the best.
I think so. I can't remember exactly who was on the front.
2K.
Like
the peak of 2K baseball is like not a peak at all for anybody who likes baseball video games. The show's always been dominant. Okay. Don't text
That's
it.
true.
Even though I'm not buying the show this year, okay.
Wait long enough, it comes out free on PlayStation Network.
Yeah, I'll wait. Like
better
2 to
not,
3
because
years.
I just got it today. So if it comes out with the next month free, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Yeah, but have we talked about the Red Sox at all? Do we get down that avenue?
I don't even know what's happening with the Red Sox.
Here we go.
I missed this.
Yeah, there's a bunch of suspensions.
So after the Astros pretty much got put on blast, right? And by blast, that's air quotes, okay? There was the whole story about the Red Sox also being caught up in the scandal, right? Everybody remembers that, right? Because it kind of was happening at the same time, but for the Red Sox, it was kind of like underlined, like flying under the radar. Well, a couple days ago, they came out with the final punishments, I guess, for the Red Sox for their scandal. And hold on, let me pull it up here. So, Major League Baseball suspended Red Sox video replay system operator J.T. Watkins without pay through the 2020 postseason and stripped the team of its second-round draft pick this year. Former Red Sox manager Alex Cora, who also mutually parted ways with the team in January, is suspended through the 2020 postseason as well, but only for his conduct as Houston's bench coach, the league said in an announcement. A reminder that we're not even sure if there's going to be a 2020 postseason to begin with, but that's the punishment.
Can't be suspended if you don't have the postseason.
Fair.
The Red Sox are thinking ahead, apparently.
I don't know. I feel like with the core situation, like obviously with the new like management coming in, like I think they pretty much told him like, hey, you're gonna have to like resign. So his punishment's kind of whatever because he's not even with the Red Sox anymore. I can't really tell or justify whether the punishment itself was harsh enough or not because I don't know. I don't want to give a lot of input into it just because of my stance on the situation because I'm going to be Homer about it. But I don't know. I feel like a lot of people definitely think that it's not harsh enough with everything that had happened with the Astros and everything and what a punishment they got for what they did.
Even what the Astros got wasn't enough. So, I mean, at least MLB was consistent in not punishing this much at all. So, good for them, I guess.
I mean,
well, I also think I think it took them a while to finally come to a decision on what they wanted to do because I remember, like, we talked about it on this show, like, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Jared had read something off of ESPN where they were talking about how the commissioner was going to come out with the Red Sox decision soon, and they hadn't for weeks. So I think there was a lot of back and forth between what they wanted to do. So I think in their eyes, obviously, they think they did what was right, but I don't think it's sitting right with all the other fan bases of baseball.
Well, see, what I'm reading is that like it was only relevant when the Red Sox had a runner on second base. So 19.7% of plate appearances in the whole league in 2018 is kind of when that happens. But I don't know.
So they cheated, but only when runners were in scoring position. That's all that matters.
Pretty much.
That's fine. That's fine. We can let that go. It's still a hit on Houston season. Okay.
Somebody did come out with like this statistic, like when the Red Sox won the World Series in 2018, like when we had one of, if not top, like 2 or 3 best offenses ever of baseball, like what our hitting percentages were like compared to like everybody else, and it's off the charts, like it's crazy, and I don't know, it kind of makes me mad because like obviously like you don't cheat to win, like you shouldn't cheat at all, winners never cheat, but I don't know. I'm kind of just glad they didn't strip the title just because I'm a Red Sox fan, honestly.
I mean, at this point, if they didn't strip the title from the Astros, they weren't going to do it to the Red Sox.
Yeah, no, that was a given.
I mean,
there would be riots if they did.
I mean, there's going to be an ESPN 30 for 30 on the Astros eventually at some point. Okay.
That's a crazy 30 for 30. You guys from the Sports Illustrated saying they're going to win a World Series in 2 years or 4 years, however long it was. They did it, but too bad they cheated.
Yeah.
So now it's tainted.
Yep.
And the whole saga's not even over yet because I'm still waiting for Astro players to get hit. Like, that's still a thing. That's still a thing that's going to happen. I don't know. Well,
look. It's all going to be 100 times better when there's a whole year passing until our next season, and pitchers still do it because they're still mad. That's what's going to make it all worth it. But like, really, I mean, just thank God we don't have Goodell in charge of these suspensions because Goodell he just picks a random number from like just a hat and is like, all right, this guy shot somebody, 3-game suspension. Josh Gordon, entire season, maybe his whole career. So like, at least we got some sort of consistency across the board instead of just Goodell-like numbers of just random games or years.
I like random game generator. I love it.
No, you don't.
Hey,
nobody likes when Goodell gives 3 games to somebody, but then 10 to another.
My team had to be on the receiving end of it, so I mean.
Wait, was there a video of it? Oh, got to spin them longer. That looked worse.
I mean, honestly, that's
Greg Hardy threw his girlfriend on some.
I was about to say. Rifle. Greg Hardy gets 3 games. Josh Gordon gets a year. Nobody knows what's going on. Doesn't make any sense. We're just gonna roll with it.
Poor Josh Gordon. But yeah, that's pretty much what's going on with baseball for right now. Hopefully, if baseball does come back, the Astros are not in the. I'm just saying this as like regionals, like they do in college baseball. The Astros are not in the Texas regional or whatever. They're either in Arizona or Florida because they don't deserve home field advantage or good PR at that point. Yeah. So hopefully, whatever they do, it's good. Anything else on the Red Sox or Major League Baseball before we move on out of there? All right, so let's move on to college football, where a lot of other schools are confirming pay cuts and furloughs and stuff like that. We know that Minnesota's PJ Fleck is taking an unpaid week. We know that at Colorado, coaches are taking a 10% pay cut. We know that Syracuse AD came out today and he said that the ACC has had no talks about canceling the 2020 season. However, the Arizona president said that he, quote, just don't see football in the fall this upcoming season. But here's my thing. And I say this because I think it's very important because it was, 2 days ago or yesterday where a report came out where it said 99% of ADs believe there's going to be a season this year. And then at this point, know this. Nobody knows what's going on.
Yep.
Right? Everybody can say there's going to be a season. And a couple of people are going to say, I'm not sure there's going to be a season. We're realizing that nobody really knows what's going on.
Yeah.
And we're kind of just holding out hope, right?
Jared, I want to ask you an important question, though. Is it the ACC has not discussed or that Clemson has not discussed? Because let's be real, the ACC playing football or not doesn't really affect anybody. But Clemson playing football affects,
Don't you count out the ACC Coastal, okay? Because
I will count every member of the ACC.
With their powers combined, they can take down Clemson.
Jared doesn't want you talking bad about the ACC because of Pitt.
Yeah. Pitt.
The ACC is a bunch of – they're all Mississippi State. That's all it is. They're all going to be 8-5 and 7-6 every single year, except for 1 year. One of them's going to randomly show up and then get obliterated by the king of their conference. Which
I think
is what
you
happens
mean
with Mississippi State.
I think the more
One year they
accurate
pull
description
up
is
and then get
Texas
obliterated.
A&M.
What?
Isn't the more accurate description Texas A&M?
No, because Texas A&M is
8-4?
always 8-5. Mississippi State can
Texas
just
A&M's
mess
always
around and go.
overhyped too. We don't ever
There's that
expect
too.
anything out of the ACC.
Thank you. And Mississippi State occasionally will go 6-6, which is very ACC. Texas A&M's always 8-5, no matter what happens. It doesn't make any sense, but they're always 8-5.
I guess that's fair.
Didn't they fire Kevin Sumlin after going 8-5?
Yes.
They fired Kevin Sumlin after a lot of things.
Works out.
I don't know. They haven't
like-
gone 6-6. I don't know.
The big thing with
remember.
like the football comments about the fall thing is like it's kind of what we've been saying. It's literally what Jared just said. We've been saying it for the past like 2 weeks. It's like nobody knows anything. I mean,
Yep.
well, like one president can say like we're not having classes or sport activities. The other one's like we're hopeful. Nick Saban came out on Feinbaum yesterday and said he's hopeful for a treatment soon about all this and that. But like nobody knows. I mean, we've never been through it before. Nobody knows if this thing's going to skyrocket the next few weeks or months, heck, or even like somebody finds a treatment next week and we can have football on time and even finish baseball and basketball. So I don't know.
Pitt's going to save the world. Don't text it because it's happening. Just how they saved everybody from... Wait, did Pitt beat UCF this year? Is that what happened?
Yeah, they did.
Yes.
Oh my!
Barely.
That feels like that was like 3 years ago, and I could not remember at all if that happened or not.
I mean, it
We're
was
talking about that thing on Twitter we saw from Pitt a few weeks ago.
What? I don't remember.
It was something about the virus. You had said something like "Go Pitt, go" because it was something about some advancement with virus treatment or something.
Oh, yeah, Pitt. They're the real winners in my heart. Don't you worry. And when they eventually, I'm still in favor of pushing the ACC to do. Because let's be honest, Clemson's going to win the, what's the opposite of the Coastal? The Atlantic? Is that the opposite of the ACC? Clemson's going to win the Atlantic. We know this. What they got to do is put together an all-star team for the Coastal and just throw everybody together to take on the Clemson super demon that's pretty much charging up over there. Okay?
Because
who did Clemson play this past year?
Virginia.
Yeah, then Virginia went and played Florida in the Orange Bowl.
And it actually was kind of a close game.
Yeah. That's because
I give Virginia props. They were good this year. I give them props.
No, Virginia was good, and they finally.
That's what I'm saying.
They finally beat Tech, right? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yep, they beat Tech at home, and that was.
Field.
Yep, that game was because it was after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's Black Friday.
And nobody was there because and then nobody was on campus.
Bryce Perkins, after his whole ordeal with breaking his neck and not sure if he'll play football ever again, and coming back and having that great season, beating Tech, and I was hoping he was going to beat Clemson. I'm telling you, that would have been a whole story in itself. But the Clemson laser cannon just was charged up, and it just obliterated Virginia. So.
Jacob, for a second, I thought you were just playing the Auburn-Tennessee highlights because that's what was on screen. I was like, why on earth would you do that to us? But then I realized they're highlights of Derek Brown. I can't.
Yeah.
I never see the player making the tackle.
Go back and rewatch the Outback Bowl where we get beat by Minnesota.
Why do you keep rewatching that? Why do you keep doing that to yourself?
Jared, I did that once. It is because quarantine has driven me crazy.
There are certain games I will watch that Auburn lost just because they were hype games, but that's not one of them. The only games you watch that they lose are home games because the home games can be hype. Like the game against Clemson 2016, sure they sucked, but it was a hype game.
Like LSU last
year. I think we have different definitions of hype.
That 2016 Clemson game, though, we had no business being anywhere near that.
It was hype because they almost won.
I agree with that.
But Auburn didn't score a touchdown.
Yeah, that's not hype. That's like
but the defense, the fans freaking out every time. The fans freaking out every time a bunch of freshman defensive linemen destroyed Deshaun Watson. That was hype times. Because everyone was like, oh my gosh, who are these guys? And now Derek Brown's going to go in the first round. Marlon Davis is going to go in the second round. And they're probably the two best defensive linemen other than Nick Fairley this century. I mean, I bet again, my recollection of like Auburn football before 2008 is not very
Quentin
good.
Groves was pretty good.
I know that.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Carl Lawson was good too. That's fair. But again, he was also hurt for like all of his career.
Is Carl Lawson still D4? Well, whenever he's onside, but that's a different story.
No. That's brutal.
How's bad? How bad do you feel for D Ford going from pretty much Super Bowl runner-up to, but the
Super Bowl
Chiefs,
runner-up?
but the Chiefs pretty much almost to the Super Bowl to I made it, and then
lost to my former team.
Yeah, I mean,
like if he had not been offsides, the Chiefs could have won back-to-back Super Bowls, and he would have been on the team because they wouldn't have cut him for that because he was good despite that one very stupid penalty.
D Ford, pretty much in a nutshell, the last 2 years have been what Auburn football has always been, which was, oh my goodness, we're gonna do it, and then they didn't. So
Stop.
Except for the Iron Bowl.
Am I wrong?
Except for the Iron Bowl.
Oh, except for the Iron Bowl. Fair.
Jared, you're just like we could yell about how much we all despise the struggles we've gone through with Auburn football, but like sometimes and you're just like trying to bring it back. You're like, all right, we have not talked about Auburn football enough. Time to just make everybody angry again.
Because it's a defense mechanism, okay? Because once you accept that these things are going to happen regularly, it's okay when Florida pops up, okay, and we're like, oh yeah, we'll beat Florida on the road. We'll finally do it, and then they didn't. Or then we go to LSU, and it's like, okay, we may be in it, and then we were in it, and we were winning, and then, we blew it again. Okay? You just gotta lower expectations. Auburn sports in general are better when you lower expectations for the team and yourself. You get to enjoy,
look
you
at
get to enjoy it more.
We were at the bottom of the SEC before Bruce got here, and our expectations were super low. And now
we were at the bottom of Division One.
Yeah, I was about to say we were at the bottom of it, not just the conference. They were on another level.
Next year, though, if we don't get Greg tomorrow, which we aren't going to, then we might not be as good. But
that's okay, because I'll still take top 4 in the SEC.
Exactly.
I'm not shooting for number. I'd love to be number 1 in the SEC. Don't get me wrong, and I hope we are. But I'll shoot for top 4, and I'll be happy about
Jared,
that.
Shoot for the top 7 next year. Let's just say that.
I'm just shooting for a first round bye in the SEC tournament. That's all I'm shooting for.
My biggest thing is at this point with looking and watching these last 3 years and hearing the fact that they've set a new record for the last century every single season, it's like I'm okay with whatever because at this point we were terrible for 18 years.
You just gotta
I'm not gonna kill them if they're not the number 1 team, or I hope they're top 4. I mean the SEC, it's kind of confusing.
SEC's
Arkansas
weird.
Should be better. They sucked this year.
The SEC as a whole in basketball, it's almost like the ACC Coastal in football, almost, but not really.
That's fair.
We know who the top teams usually are. It's going to be your Kentuckys, and depending on the year, Florida. Florida's weird, and then after that, it's kind of just a mosh pit.
Florida's not even a guarantee to be good in standings. They're just going to compete with everybody for whatever reason. They're not going to get blown out by anybody. They're just going to be 19-10. But they're going to be close to everybody. Also, that reminded me. Apparently, Michigan University asked for a bailout for their athletic department. And somebody said Michigan asked for a $12 million bailout. $8 million will be going to their head football coach, but they still won't beat Ohio State. And that was brutal. It's true because, they're not going to beat Ohio State.
Did Michigan really ask for a – well, I know
that's what I saw. I don't know if it's 100% true, but that's what I saw.
I know that – I don't want to get into politics, but I know that universities are getting some money depending from the last bill and stuff like that. I don't know where it's going or who gets it and who doesn't. I don't know if Auburn's getting it or not. I have no recollection of any of that. I just know that money is going out to certain universities, only because my favorite Ivy League school, Harvard, I believe turned the money down. So, and they're Harvard. They can do whatever they want at that point.
Yeah, because I bet their athletic expenses are not exactly through the roof.
I don't know, man. Have you seen their... Let's see, what's the sport that Harvard will play?
Yale's been playing in the same football stadium since 1903, so...
well, that's fine. But, yeah, that's pretty much what's going on with that. But I do find it funny that Michigan may or may not be asking for some bailout money, and Harbaugh still owed how much money? A lot.
If Michigan's going to have to do it, Auburn's going to have to do it. Not like Gus's contract is that much smaller than Harbaugh's at this point.
Yeah, but just think about how much money they got to pay for his khaki pants.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Didn't think about that.
It's not chump change, So that does
TJ
it.
Maxx usually has pretty good deals.
Yeah, that does it for college football because I don't even know what we started with, but yeah, we'll leave it at that. Anything else for college football?
There was something. I forgot.
I told my dad 2 days ago. We were talking about how my senior year we'll be playing at Death Valley, and I told him that I wanted to go, and he highly advised me to not do it. But I still think I want to do it anyways.
Don't do it.
I've heard stories.
You
Knowing
need to at
Jake,
least go.
knowing Jacob, he'll probably want to go too. So yeah, so I'll be.
Yeah. So
gotta go at least
that's
once.
honestly an automatic L. Like
I'm
you already know.
hoping to see Auburn win on the road in Death Valley before I turn 40. And if you go to that game, that may be my last chance.
That's the thing.
I don't know. Think about it. Bo will be a junior that year, and LSU's kind of in
That's
the
Bo
rebuild
Nix's
right now,
Heisman
so it might
season.
just be decent.
No,
And
I
it
mean,
could be a double negative. Auburn at Death Valley and me traveling to a road game, it's a double negative.
Makes it positive.
But
And
Jacob, when are you going to learn? You caused the coronavirus. Why won't you learn from your mistakes?
Like this is gonna be dang near Infinity War Part 2, but this time everybody actually doesn't come back. If you do
Okay.
this again,
the thing is, though, is like, to my knowledge, on Hillman's car,
Oh.
Oh,
Hillman-
we lost. Oh, never mind.
he's back.
on
We lost
Hillman's
for a
car,
second.
he has no Auburn stickers or whatever. But I have an Auburn sticker on my car, so I'll have to make sure I peel it off before I go.
Well, I'll tell you this: going to Death Valley. Let's see, when was the Jarrett Stidham LSU road game?
2017.
2017.
Should have won that game too. Should have won
Okay.
the past 2 times.
We were up by like 40, and then
So-
they're just like, nope.
Based on I actually went to that game in 2017, down in Death Valley. Yeah, crazy story. That is before I knew Jack, but we didn't talk to each other, and apparently we were like 3 rows from each other. That was the whole thing. But I went to that game, and the LSU fans were very, very nice. They weren't. Now, don't get me wrong. This was a day game, not a night game.
I was about to say it's a day
So
game, not a night game.
It was a different environment. Okay.
Yeah,
But
that sounds about right.
If it's LSU during the day, they were very nice. They invited us to eat at some of their tents. Okay, they were very nice. I liked it.
So Jared, what I'm getting from that story, it pretty much is that the losing on the road curse runs through Weagle sport directors. So you must have passed that off as well.
Oh, my Lord.
Sounds like you started that trend. Sounds like it.
Wow.
I'm trying to think. No, I don't buy that.
I will
To be
say,
fair, I don't think I traveled to any games before 2017. Nope. Sugar Bowl. Never mind.
See,
you went to
See?
the
Joe Mixon
No.
game. The Joe Mixon game.
Why on earth would you go? Auburn was 8-4, playing like an 11-1
I
Oklahoma
don't want to
team.
go to New Orleans.
That's fair. No, that's fair. But like, oh my
See,
god!
I told you. See,
Wow.
one result of me going to a road game and Auburn losing, that's just coincidence. Well, what is it about causality? What's the saying? I don't remember.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah.
Correlation or causality is like the
Oh.
things,
Yeah.
but I don't know what the saying.
Correlation
is.
does not equal causation, Alex.
Oh
I will-
yes.
I will say this:
Sure.
I do want to go to Athens this upcoming year, just for the heck of it.
Yep, I agree.
Just for the heck
I'm
of it.
probably gonna try and go.
I've never been before. I want to go.
I heard you.
I will say
I
though
heard you
about
get
the
blocked out a lot.
LSU atmosphere. I had a friend go last year, and he was in the student section. He wore purple, and I respected his decision because there was a kid who wore a Cam jersey, like maybe 10 seats over and 2 rows down, and he got pelted with food the entire game.
Oh.
Not heckles, not just food. Just launched at him the whole time.
That's crazy, dude. Like literally, the Iron Bowl. I
Oh.
sat next to 2 Alabama fans, and like that never happened. Like any of them.
Hey,
It's like
Levi.
crazy.
LSU
how
fans are
different
like they're not trash because people are spreading false things about them. They are in fact like they don't
Well,
exactly
we're not
treat
even
people
like their
great.
rival either. Like if we were Alabama, like yeah, I could understand that. Or somebody else, but like Auburn's like a mid-tier rival to LSU at the most.
Yeah. No, it's kind of insane.
Levi,
And again, that was the
I
student
like
section.
how,
And the student section's wild. So
I like how you're taking a look at Jordan Love highlights.
I'm on the train, man. Look, I mean, look at the dime.
might
Just
as
wait
well
for it.
accept it.
Oh, that's a beautiful throw. Oh my God, that's my quarterback right there. Man, I
thought you
can't wait
just-
till we trade up.
It's funny until it actually happens. That's the
It's
great
gonna
part.
happen. Like I've accepted this fate. It's gonna happen. It is what it is.
Is that
I mean,
why
is it
your
the-
tweet had the Saints drafting him, Levi?
Oh yeah, that's why I have them trading up to get him because that is exactly what's gonna happen.
But like, is it really the worst possible outcome? because like Drew Brees is not going to play forever, and Taysom Hill is probably not a quarterback.
We need a third string guy to back up Taysom Hill.
I heard Jarrett Stidham's available.
Oh my god!
I heard Cam Newton's available.
I did hear that.
I'm okay with that.
Actually available.
No, do not.
I'm okay with that.
No.
Cam's gonna be a Steeler when it's all said and done. It's okay.
I was about to say, with all these former NFC South quarterbacks on the market, the Saints should make a move.
Just wait till the Falcons go 2-14 this year and they let Matt Ryan go. Then y'all can really pick him up.
Whoa.
Oh.
Matt Ryan is so slept on. I hate to admit that, but good God, I would gladly.
Matty Ice is my boy.
And honestly, Bay, that might not be the craziest thing because apparently the Falcons have been trying to trade up to the number 2 pick in the draft, which means they could want a quarterback.
No,
they aren't going to do it because the Redskins are not going to give it up for somebody that far back in the draft, and also because they don't have enough capital. But like, if they're trying to, like, Chase Young is great, but he's not. I don't see that many people wanting to trade up for Chase Young. They must want a quarterback. So Matt Ryan could be on the market after next season, depending on how decent they do and how much Dan Quinn sucks at his job again.
I love how Davis just turned around and looked at his camera for the first time the whole show.
Yeah.
Davis,
I'm busy
welcome
right
back.
now, Bay.
Wow.
He's just looking at the beach. He's looking at the waves and ice.
Yeah,
course.
it's nice.
He's so quiet over there, especially because it's gonna be our last show before the finale, and he's just like, I don't want to talk to you guys because apparently he hates us.
Dang, Davis.
I'm juggling stuff. I don't have anything to add. If y'all want me to just start like getting us off topic, I can do that like usual.
That is true.
I mean, that's half of the charm.
I'm just saying, if you want me to, I will happily.
Today we've done a great job at like staying on. Well, college football talk was not that great, but other than that, we kind of stayed on topic and talked about.
I've been pretty quiet. There's been quite a few times I could have just got us on a tangent, so y'all are welcome.
Tangent, I like that. Good vocab, Davis.
Thank you. My dad was saying I was using college words today. I just said indicative and repetitive.
Those are words you would not use. Davis, you couldn't write the letter S.
That was one time. One time.
So you dropped
that is
the
not
word.
correlation is not equal causation.
But you dropped the word
indicative.
Your dad's got to be so impressed. He's like, my son
started.
Davis.
See, right when I start talking, now we're on this.
I think it's more of a Davis Alex problem than it is the extra point problem.
When you forget how to write the letter S, that's one time too many for a college student. That's bad.
Well, I wasn't in college yet, Jared.
I think he had a stroke. That's the only thing that could be plausible.
There's been a lot of moments where stuff like that has happened, but forgetting the S was the most.
This man was talking about cabin fever in like January. Don't get him started on this one too, man. You don't want that.
Why'd you mention it?
Because I was talking to someone last night about night before about it.
I mean,
oh my god,
y'all made fun of me.
I'm still making fun of you.
This is y'all's fault. This is your fault, Bay.
Bay Marks, he's calling you out.
That Catholic connection, you know what I'm saying?
It is.
What the world?
Something Catholic connection. That's all I really got from out of that. What were we talking about again?
College football. And then we start talking about the
Oh my god.
We start talking about college words and.
I brought up the possibility of Matt Ryan going 2-14 with Todd Gurley in his backfield.
And Julio Jones. That may be impossible actually for them to go 2-14, but we'll see.
No, they're 8.
They'll find a way.
8 at best.
See,
no, they'll start out. They'll either start out really hot or really slow, and then they'll turn it around.
The Falcons are going to turn into Alabama just because they're going to draft Jalen Hurts. He's going to be the backup. They're going to get rid of Matt Ryan after this year. Then they're going to get Derrick Henry in free agency. And they're also going to draft Jerry Jeudy this year. So it's just going to be an Alabama team.
Tillman said, I think it was Jacob. Last season he said that, like, I forgot what their record was, but Hillman's like, if Atlanta finishes like 4-14, they're the best 4-14 team in the history of the NFL. And it's true. They literally had so much talent last year.
And honestly, like, there were a couple teams like that, like Atlanta with all the talent, and then the Lions, like, were 13 games in. They were like 3-10, but they had been ahead in the fourth quarter of every single game. Which
the Chargers, like, every loss they had was within a score or something stupid that.
That was utterly insane because, like,
there's that graphic that, like, they flip the Charger. They flip like every one-score game.
Yeah.
Like around like the team that lost one, and the Chargers were like 13-3 at that point.
Wasn't the Seahawks like the number 1 pick at that point? Because all the games
the Seahawks have been the worst team at that point.
Yep.
That should tell you.
I will say something about like the Falcons. I don't think any of us realize it, but like they've been so close to like. I mean, they were in a Super Bowl and would have won that. Like the amount of times they've been in an NFC Championship game and just like collapsed, like it's kind of crazy.
It's tradition.
It's Atlanta sports.
Tradition.
The only team that reminds me of them this decade is like the Packers, because the Packers have been so good.
Good
in the regular season
Lord.
a million times.
Good in the regular
Good Lord.
season.
Won a Super Bowl.
He just pulled out a gun and shot Bay live on the show.
Wait, what?
Hey, we won a Super Bowl.
He's a Packers fan.
Oh my gosh.
No, but I mean, okay, but like since then, like it feels like every year that, and then they lost to the
That's
Giants
called,
for
that's
no
called
reason.
the Mike
in 2011.
McCarthy effect.
That's true. Look, hey, my dad's a Packers fan. I watched all those games. I completely understand.
Rip the Cowboys.
My dad's a smart man.
Yeah, rip the Cowboys.
The Cowboys are winning Super Bowl this year. Don't text it.
Like
I
that
dare
game-
somebody to rip the Cowboys right now in front of Jared. I dare you.
You better
People,
not.
don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
You'll
No,
have the
but, like-
Carter effect.
Those two playoff series, like one year they ran into a 9-7 Giants team in 2011 that just somehow managed to win the Super Bowl again. Then the next year they ran into Colin Kaepernick, and it's like just
That 2011 game, this is the realest I've ever been on the show. I cried after that game.
I mean, I respect it.
Wait,
Weren't they 15-1 that year? They were.
I sat on the floor and cried. Like, I vividly remember it. My brother was like looking at me, and I was like, dude. I was like, we shouldn't have lost that game.
No, I mean, yeah, in the regular season, that was one of the best teams I've ever seen. I mean, they could not be stopped by anybody except for the 2-14 Chiefs. Still don't really understand how that happened, but
Oh man, let's see. I'm trying to think of a game that I got really emotional at.
I can think of 3.
I've got a bunch.
Taking
I've got a
out the
lot.
Iron Bowl from this year, because that was the whole rush of emotions inside of a control room.
I've got a couple of
Levi,
them.
I can already guess your 3 easy.
I can think of 3 big ones.
Okay.
I can't remember ever like
Does-
physically
does-
crying
does
after a
it-
game,
Levi,
but
did you cry at the Minnesota Miracle?
Probably.
I didn't
That's
cry.
one. That's my
the
first
Minnesota
guess.
Miracle. Okay, I know I didn't cry, but I
You might
do
have
remember
broken
sitting in my
something.
living room. It wasn't this hat. I took whatever hat I had on and literally fastballed that thing as hard as I
Yep.
could into the wall, and just let out a lot of words and sat back down.
And
We
then
got over it. Then the next year happened, and
The
me and my
Rams.
cousin, who's here now, we were in there with some friends, and it was my girlfriend and one of my other friends. They didn't say a word to either of us because we're both Saints fans for like a solid 2 hours. It was like halftime in the AFC Championship game before they were like, "Are you guys okay?" And it was like, "No, we're not okay."
Man.
and then my third guess is going to be one that I'm going to hate, but it's the Saints Super Bowl win over the Colts.
that was pretty emotional, but
That's fair. That's fair.
that was good emotion. But it was also because like I grew up a Saints fan because like we liked the Mannings, so like that was kind of a.
Dang.
It was one of those things where
It was
if we were to
bittersweet.
lose to somebody, like I could have accepted that because it would have been Peyton. So like I could have swallowed that better.
I'm not
But
going to
no,
lie.
last year hurt pretty bad too. But like also it was kind of.
I'm not going to lie to
kind of
you.
expected.
I've hated the Saints ever since that day. I'm not going to lie to you.
Everybody hates us. It's okay.
I'm not going to lie to you. Yes, have the Colts won a Super Bowl? Yeah, but against Russell Grossman and the Bears. Who cares about them?
That is, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
but it was the journey. He beat Brady in the AFC Championship game, and a great game too.
That's fair. Still, I wanted more than one.
I'm sure there's some game I bet on that had nothing to do with any of my teams that like won me a lot of money that just made me, or like a fantasy thing happened that made me do something crazy. I'm sure that probably had more emotion than
Yeah.
that.
I
The
don't.
Saints made me mad on the regular, so.
I was about to say, like, I don't get sad about games, but like the amount of times I've been angry, just like, so like, when the Redskins were about to make a run to the playoffs and they lost to the Kellen Moore-led Cowboys on Monday Night Football, 16-9.
That sounds like
I couldn't.
that sounds like a risky thing to happen, though.
No, it is.
Yeah.
But I will say the only time I ever got really sad was 2012 and RG3's knee fell off, and I was like, God dang it. I knew it wasn't going to end well. And then in the season opener, after all that hype, they lost to the Steelers by 40, and it was like, okay, I can't.
Oh, you know what? There was a
I was
game
more
that
anger,
made me
Mom. I was
mad.
angry.
It had nothing to do with the Saints. It was a Redskins game because all I needed was like 2 more points from Kirk Cousins than whoever their kicker was at the time. I think it was Hopkins. And
Fantasy.
all I needed was 2 more points from the quarterback over the kicker, and he got like 9 points, had like 40 yards on like 3 for 40 passing, had the worst game he's ever had, and I missed out on the playoffs because of that. And ever since then, Kirk Cousins has been my mortal enemy. He's blocked on Twitter. He's blocked on Instagram. Not allowed to ever come to my house. I tried to find him when we were in Minneapolis last year to go, give him one of these. And yeah,
Oh,
I hate
gosh.
that
Do
guy.
you remember
All
what
this-
game that it was? Because I'm trying. I've seen him do some bad games, so I'm trying to remember myself.
It was literally like the last game of the season. It was like the last Monday night game of the season because I remember
Wait a minute.
sitting here
It was Monday night.
It was a Monday night game. It might have been the same game you were talking about.
Okay, so there were because that year they played the Panthers and the Cowboys on like back-to-back Monday night games, and the Cowboys sucked, and the Panthers were not bad, but they weren't great. And he played so bad in both of those games. Like that's when we were like, all right, we're just gonna give him up for scraps and sign Alex Smith for whatever reason. I don't really.
Is that the Redskins game where the Panthers got like 2 interceptions, or is that a different game?
It was probably.
I feel like I remember that sometime.
There were a lot of bad Monday night games. The Redskins are 1-30 in recent Monday night games, so there's that.
And yet they keep giving them to them.
They do because, like, there was one year where they were like 3-13 and they played the Colts, who made the Super Bowl, and they took the Colts to the final minute.
Yeah, I remember
led by
that.
Donovan McNabb and like Ryan Terrain and a bunch of scrubs, and they almost won that game. Doesn't make any sense, but it was fun.
I think fantasy football makes me more angry than anything else.
Man,
like,
screw fantasy football.
I
get
fantasy
sad
for the first time this year.
I get sad and stuff about like Auburn and my favorite teams, but fantasy football makes me angry, and it's because I don't realize the coaches they don't care about my fantasy team, so I'm like, give him the ball, give him the ball. They don't give him the ball, and yeah.
You want to hear something that happened to me this year for fantasy? So my team was like injury struck the whole season, and then that sounds a little sarcastic, Jacob.
Go ahead.
And then
probably was.
I needed to sign a wide receiver, so I signed Williams from the Dolphins, number 18. In that game, he had like 3 touchdowns. He went off. He won me the game, and then he got a season-ending injury the same game.
Wow.
Yeah, that wasn't as interesting as I thought it would be.
Once I started telling, I was like, I can't remember any other stories for fantasy, so I just kind of.
I've never gotten too mad about fantasy. Actual games always
You haven't
worse.
been in direct peril. I almost got egged the whole season because I was one of the worst teams in the league.
That's true. I did once throw RG3's jersey in the trash. That was not my brightest moment, but I mean, angry times. So
I can easily tell the worst fantasy story was it's like 2014, I think. I was beating my brother by 17 points.
Oh no! I hate where this is going already.
Second night game starts. I was at my girlfriend's house at the time. I was up by 7. Game starts. All I have is my defense left, which is the Panthers. They're playing the Steelers. And I go up by 17 points. I give up. Like, my phone's off on the side. Like, we're not even watching the game. We're just hanging out. Like, I'm a freshman in college. And I pick my phone up. My brother is texting like a million times, like all caps, like, oh, my God, I can't believe it. I look up. Panthers defense got -7 points. It dropped me all the way down to a tie.
Golly.
And I was
God.
I just sat there like,
how was that possible?
Was that peak
I
offense Steelers where they
That
just
that game.
I think LeGarrette Blount had
my
3 touchdowns in that game. It was just bad.
Of course he did.
I didn't play in the championship, but there was a championship game in my league that was decided by a 2-point conversion.
No.
That was rough. That was rough for the loser.
Oh.
I had a friend that needed like 0.3 points to win. He had Darius Slayton still, and Darius Slayton scored 0 points.
Well,
I mean,
never bet
that's
on
Auburn
Auburn.
for you.
Never bet on Auburn.
Also, have you guys ever broken things? Because I get angry about games, but there's people that break stuff, and I'm just like, how you get that angry? Like some dude I knew threw his phone against the wall in the first half of the Florida Auburn game and shattered it. And I'm like, I'm mad that they're playing like trash, but I'm not about to break something.
That's why you have insurance.
I'm trying to think. I feel like I've broken things, but things that don't really matter.
Yeah.
I probably who knows?
Well, before we go, one thing I do want to show you because I found it and I thought this would be the perfect way to end the regular season for the extra point at this point. Is that we all know how I pick my favorite teams, right? It was when
Little League.
Weird as hell.
So my first year, that's not weird, is it? My first year playing Little League, I forgot until I found this the other week. We all got player cards. So
what?
Here's mine.
Jared Dillon, defensive player
from 2002.
Oh my!
Let me see your stats. Show us your stats.
And we're playing the Jets. They're actually at the back to it.
Let me see it. Let me
so
see it.
the back has my age. I was 6.
Age
6.
4'7".
My jersey number was 88.
47 inches. Alex.
The Smith Station. What is that?
Colts.
Colts? Oh, it looked like Cubs.
Smith Station.
Nickname
Wait, what
was
did it say
Little
under
Man.
Yeah, that did not age
Little
well.
man.
I realize that does not age well, but yes.
Unbelievable.
And
I will say,
the crazy thing about this was that it was 7 through 9 league, but I was age 6 and they let me play. That's a whole. That's
that
a,
good?
that-
That
there was a
dominant.
beast at 47
Yeah, so you're
inches and
just a cute
55
kid.
yeah,
pounds.
that's a whole nother discussion. I played for the Colts.
What a beast.
I played with the Colts for 3 years. 2
Getting
years
chips?
we went to the championship game and we lost both times to the Panthers.
49ers.
The
Oh.
Panthers.
Panthers.
Yeah.
The only time we'll ever win.
That's true.
We lost the first championship game that I played in 7-6. Here's a great story, and then we'll end it right there. We lost the first championship game 7-6. The Panthers had a really, really good running back. That
Was his name Christian McCaffrey?
no.
I think I've heard the story.
They had a really, really good running back that was all over the place, couldn't tackle him. In fact, on the touchdown run that he got, I missed a tackle. I was one of the 8 people that missed a tackle, but I missed a tackle, right? Years later, I'm at my neighbor's house, right? And we're playing Xbox or something like that. And I look over into his closet, and you know what I see? I see that Panthers
way.
jersey hanging
No.
in the closet, and I'm like, hold up,
Nope.
time out. Because we brought up that we played Little League and all that, but I don't think we ever mentioned what teams we played for. And I was like, did we play you guys? And he was like, yeah, I thought you knew that. And I didn't know that. That was years later, like 3-4 years later.
It'd be your own friends.
And then after that, I put on some really bad teams. I played on the 49ers, which I told you about that story, how we won one game. We were like, 1-21 in my 2 years playing. And then I played on the Titans, where I was 0-11.
Wasn't the 49ers when you made that tackle at the end of the game?
Yes,
Okay.
when I pretty much cheated. Yes. When I flopped harder than Davis did in the All-Star game.
Oh my!
It's false.
He did flop.
No, I
It
didn't.
comes.
My foot was stuck, and he
I'm about to say,
pushed
Jared,
me.
this was indeed a great story in the extra point because you just came full circle with all the classic extra point jokes of the second semester, namely being the fact that Davis flopped in the All-Star game.
I stayed.
Oh, don't worry.
I'm starting my exam late for that story, Jared.
Yeah, good.
I don't know. The rest in that game were awful. I don't know what y'all talking about. They were awful.
Wow.
Yeah. Wait.
They had it out for me. I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, we all played an All-Star game except for Babe because apparently he was sick. I don't know.
I had the
Yeah, we needed-
coronavirus.
we needed
I'm
Bay.
convinced.
No hard feelings, Levi. You're fun to guard.
The referees
Okay.
were trash. They called it travel, and the guy was not even across half court.
Me and Davis would just like put our hands up and I'm not moving right now. I was like, I'm not gonna move. Like, I got my man. I got my man.
Well, I'm just glad that we even pulled the game off. I didn't think it was gonna happen, but I thought it was at least fun. But hey, there's always next year, am I right? Remember, it's a 7-game series, so watch
I
it.
retired.
Yeah, the Memorial basketball game.
Jared, no.
None of us are even going to be undergraduate students. Heck, probably even graduate students
Jared,
in the 7th game.
You cannot be coming back for Game 7 when you're in your 50s, man. That's not okay.
Who said that there would be one game a year?
Yeah, we're going to
You
fit
did when
6
you
more
said
games
there's
into the
always
next
next
week.
year.
I'm out of
Yeah,
eligibility.
yeah. There's next year where we
Levi's
play
like,
6
nope.
games.
I'm going to the draft.
All right. Well, yeah. I'm a lottery pick anyway. Y'all already know.
Okay.
That's what the
No, you're
that's
not,
what the next
Jared.
episode's
it
all
means
about.
It's a gamble to. It's a gamble
Jared.
to pick you. Yeah.
The next,
Here's what you were. You were Austin Wiley coming to Auburn. It's like, oh my gosh, Auburn's gonna have a lottery pick. And now by the end of the All-Star game, you're like, is he gonna get drafted? We don't really know. That's what
I'll
you
take
did.
that actually. I'll take it. 'Cause I'll
You
take
just
it. At this
equated him
point.
to a good player, Alex.
I'm gonna say.
That's fair.
I'll take
That's
it.
fair.
I'll take it.
There's more going on
And
the
that's
path,
what what the next episode, whenever it happens, is all about. I finally get to make my decision. We'll call it the extra point, the decision, and that'll be the finale. Yeah.
Then the
Yeah.
extra point just dies after that. It's done.
Yeah. 'Cause
We have to
remember,
change
Very
the name.
trademark.
I
it,
own
so
the
yeah, we
I own the rights. Remember,
own
that's
the
how this
rights.
works.
No, he doesn't.
The 2-point conversion.
All right. When Alex, when I bring you the files from the trademark commission that says I own it, don't say anything.
I won't.
Exactly. But that's what the whole next episode's about. So it'll be
We got to
reminiscent.
come up with a day and time.
I'll let you know when I get hired. But pretty
That's
much,
fair.
we'll reminisce on all the good times and good stories, and then the decision. And that's where we'll go from there. I guess. I don't know. We'll see how stupid everything ends up. But
We should make everybody create a top 3 extra point story from their perspective.
That's good.
Well, that's not bad. Well,
I could do it.
The Vikings have 2 first-round picks tonight too. I'm stupid.
Cole.
How many teams just got rid of their first round
I'm
picks?
about to have to dip.
All right, let's get out of here.
His
luck,
finals
guys.
already started. It started at 5 o'clock.
Yes, I was like, maybe it'll end soon. I can get out, but no.
That's on you, because you know
I
we
know
we
it is on
ramble.
me.
You have
Alright.
a lead meeting button.
So yeah, I gotta get out of here too because the involvement awards start soon, and I gotta go to another Zoom meeting with the rest of Old Weagle staff to watch the involvement awards together for the final time of the staff. So I gotta go do that.
Here.
Tier. Hey, don't worry. Hey, and in about an hour, we'll know if we brought home some more championships. So
Hey.
I'm just
Trophy
saying,
case.
and we're still shooting for best organization of the year. So keep that on lock. All right, so let's go ahead and end this right here. So for Davis Carroll, Levi Fitzwater, Jacob Hillman, Bay Marks, and Alex Houston, I'm your host Jared Dillon saying